Boom! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Finding Meaning After the Military YouTube channel. I'm your host, Byron Rogers, author of the Finding Meaning After the Military book, the scientific process to help you find purpose, and the foundation, the Meaning After the Military project. And I'm here with you today for the principle of the day. Now, this principle is the foundational principle of waking up. This is the foundational principle of taking your life back. Like, you want to make a change, you want to take your life back? Here you go. This is it. I'm about to give it to you. I call it deliberation. Okay? Deliberation. Unfortunately, I remember hearing a statistic, I don't remember where it's from, but I'm sure it's pretty true, that after high school, 90% of Americans never ever read another book. Okay, this is troubling. And I'm not telling you to read books. Okay, I never was one to necessarily read books. As I've evolved, I've found other ways to learn. But my point is simply that your subconscious mind, your subconscious level of awareness is always learning. It's soaking everything up. It's writing the programming for your life as we speak. Do you remember the first time you got into a car and you were 16 and you were supposed to drive, or 15, you were supposed to drive, and you got in there and you were looking and you're like looking at the stick shift and you're looking at the pedals and you're like driving around, you're like, man, okay, how does this work? You know, like, or the first time you tried to operate your M16, you're like sitting here like, this button ejects the magazine, my magazines are here, and then I put it in here, and then I hit this thing, and then I have to aim, and then I have to aim at the front sight tip, and then I look at my target, and you're doing all this stuff consciously. Right? You're doing it all consciously, but like fast forward a year or two, right? When you first got in that car, you're like sitting there, you're like, geez, how do people do all these things at the same time? I need to change lanes. How do I do that? Remember smog, signal, mirror, over the shoulder, go. So you're like sitting here, you're like, what do I do first? Signal, mirror, over the shoulder, go. And then you turn the lanes, right? But you're sitting here and you're looking at all this stuff going on in the car, and you're like, can't figure out how mom and dad make it look so easy, right? You're sitting here, you're operating your weapon, and you're doing everything, and you're like, man, I'm gonna get good at this. I'm eventually gonna get good at this. And you keep practicing and you get good at it, and now you're driving your car while you're sending text messages, while you're combing your beard, while you're doing all these different things, and you're subconsciously, unconsciously operating that motor vehicle, right? You're sitting here and you're doing these magazine reload drills like you're not even thinking about it. You're just doing these magazine reload drills, talking crap with your boy, like you're upset because you got a police call in a few minutes, like you just want to get off, you want to go to limbo, you're not even thinking about it, right? Because it's now hardwired in your neurology, it's now hardwired into your subconscious level of awareness, your subconscious mind. Well, what's crazy about that is that, okay, neuroscientists will agree that 80 to 90% of everything that goes on in your life that you're doing it primarily from a subconscious realm of awareness. You're subconsciously driving your life. Well, who's programming your subconscious? Ladies and gentlemen, every single thing that happens in your life is being recorded by your subconscious mind. Your subconscious part of your mind back here is 1 million times, I'm not speculating, it's 1 million times stronger than your conscious aware mind that makes all your little decisions you think you're in charge of, right? Your subconscious mind. Well, what's writing the technology? What's writing the systems that run your life? What wrote the systems that ran your life when you were learning how to speed reload and how to operate and manipulate your weapon? What was writing all that programming? You deliberately wrote that programming. What wrote the programming to driving your car? You deliberately wrote the programming to driving your car. The question is, when you're driving home and you're not paying attention, and you get home and you realize, oh, I wasn't even paying attention. Are you a good driver? Are you actually a good driver when you're not paying attention and your subconscious mind is driving your vehicle? That's really the question. Okay? So we take this and we equate it to life. What's going on? What's really driving the programming you have that's making 90% of the decisions for your life? Your subconscious mind is. Who wrote that programming? Have you been deliberate about understanding exactly how you want to make every decision you want to make? The principles and pillars that you run your life by, have you been deliberate about putting those in place? Well, if your mind's always learning with every experience, who's programming these things? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to submit to you today the idea that you're being programmed by whatever you're letting in your eyes and ears. I had a moment back when I was like waking up to how to control and deliberately create my life, where I was sitting there listening to, like, nothing against Eminem, like, he's talented, he's awesome, whatever, but I was sitting there listening to like these rappers, and I was like, yeah, I'm mad at my mom, and I was mad at my mom a little bit when I was little, but that's a whole nother conversation. And then all of a sudden I was like, dude, I'm not really mad at my mom, like, why am I sitting here singing this? And like, what's really the deal? And I started to realize, like, dude, these guys are like, I'm sitting here singing stuff that they're talking about on the radio that's not even really me. Like, I got better things to worry about. And I'm sitting here and I'm realizing, like, yo, this is programming. This is getting inside of me. Okay? I think this is cool, and these things are important because they're getting inside of me. That's what's coming in my ears. I'm watching television, I'm watching movies, and the next day I'm reminiscing about these movies as if they're actual memories. Why? Because it's all going into your neurology. Everything you watch, your mind doesn't know when you're joking and when you're serious. This stuff is all scientific and it's proven, but I don't have time to go through all the details with you, okay? The Bible talks about the words, there's life and death in the tongue, in your confession 1,000,000 times, because what you say is really the direction you're steering your life. Out of the heart the mouth speaks, right? So the things that are inside of you come out through your mouth. It tells you where you're going. And this is not by accident, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to take control of your life, take control of the information going into your mind. Because it goes into your mind, it gets down into your heart, and then you believe it, and your beliefs drive your actions. Okay? Begin to replace all of the fantasy and all the fluffy crap watching and listening to on television with other modes of information that will empower you, that will make you smarter, that will make you more than you are, that will give you more what I call individual capital. That's really literally what you're worth. What do you bring to the table? When's the last time you invested in yourself? You invest in yourself, others will invest in you. What do you really bring to the table? All you gotta do is make a choice, make a decision. I listen to music, but I listen to music with no words. I don't sit down and watch TV because I want something out of life more than I want to sit there and watch TV. What's on your television is what I call intellectual dessert. Okay? You sit there and you fantasize and you go into this zone and you're literally hypnotized. You're watching these guys on TV who have everything you want, and you fantasize, and for like 2 hours you're like a superhero or you're whatever you're watching. But you get back to your life, boom, the credits roll, and you're back in your life. Okay? We've got a society that's literally replacing reality for fantasy. And people are okay with that. It's like, okay, fine, like my life sucks, I go to work, it's terrible, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna sit on my couch and I'm gonna fantasize that I'm like in these other people's lives and I'm following around the Kardashian and the housewives of whatever, and I'm doing all this stuff. And it's cool and it's interesting and it's better than my life. Well, how about you create a new life? And how do you do that? Change the information going into your mind. Because that information is gonna come back out. I promise you, okay? Take action. And if you want to act like television's not something that's addictive and something that will literally take control of your life and take control of your actions, if it's not something that you're addicted to, then stop. Simply stop watching TV. You're looking at me like I'm crazy because you know you're addicted to television. So that's my point. Break free of this collective consciousness that they're trying to really kind of trap you and situate you in, and create your own reality by listening to audiobooks. Replace all that television and music and emotional stuff and replace it with information that empowers you, that makes you smarter, that makes you better. That's how you take control of your life. Before you know it, you'll know something that is of value, that you can contribute to humanity in a way that's going to cause them to compensate you in direct proportion for your contribution. And then you're going to find your own autonomy. You're going to take control of your world. And then you're going to find your freedom. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of a long one. But until the next video, I want to encourage you, I want to challenge you to find your purpose, live with passion, and reach your destiny. And tell your friends about me. All right, love you guys.